So, Joe, we have to ask you, have you recovered yet from the golf tournament?
I mean, not fully yet.
It was definitely a little warmer for that Monday than it normally would be this time of year, wasn't it?
It was. Well, actually, the weather was perfect. Besides some wind, if there was no wind, it would have been the perfect weather day. It was chilly in the morning, and then it got a little warm in the afternoon, but nothing too crazy.
Very cool. Well, we joined by, again, a very special guest here on the Cosmo and Cat Show this morning, Joe Knight with Coyote Hill. And I know you have an official title, Joe, but you want to share what exactly that is, what you do with Coyote Hill?
Yeah, I'm our development director at Coyote Hill Foster Care Ministries. So my role is to be our fundraiser, because we're 85% of our funds are straight from individuals. So our job is to get out there and find people who want to help give children safe homes. And most people are going to say yes if you ask them if they want to help give children safe homes. So it's a fun role. You get to hear some hard stories, but I get to be on the side of hope and helping people help children. So it's super fun.
Dude, I love that line. I get to be on the side of hope. We're both writing it down right now. Like, yes, we're using that. We're stealing it from Joe. But it's so good, though. That's what I think everybody wants, just be on that side of hope and to be able to give a kid who's having a tough go and is trying to find their way, to just have that flicker of hope. And that's what this month, May, is National Foster Care Month.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what Coyote Hill does for kids.
Yeah, so Coyote Hill, we are a foster care ministry. So right now, the thing we are focused on is trying to get foster parents in all of the areas we serve. So our role in that is we license and train foster parents. And then one of the big things we do is then we advocate for those parents that we license and train. So Coyote Hill does everything we can to walk alongside foster families so that children can have consistency. So we talk about this retention rate that we have a lot. So the national retention rate is about 50%. Foster parents give up after year one just because it's hard. They have no support, no training, nobody walking alongside them. And so every family that we license and train is going to get an advocate who is their advocate, who's walking alongside them. Like I was just with one of our foster families yesterday, and they probably mentioned their advocate 3 or 4 times. And those advocates are keeping our foster families in the game. So we have an 87% retention rate after year one right now.
Wow.
And it's super cool to see our parents stick it out and talk about how their advocate is a big reason they stay in the game. But the cool thing of that consistency that stability rate or retention rate is that it means stability for children when they need it most. Because a child in foster care is, they're being pulled from their home and potentially having to change schools all at the same time. And if they can get in the right home the first time they enter care, then we're not having to have children move a lot while they're in foster care. And so the average child still moves about 3 times a year. But the cool thing in Coyote Hill homes, it is not 3 times a year. We have a 2.5 times stability rate. That's our focus, is just be a safe place to be a child, license and train foster parents who are willing to welcome trauma into their home, but all at the same time making sure we're training them right. We're making sure they're aware and ready for all situations. And even in the situations we don't prep for, we have an advocate there who can walk alongside them and be with them no matter what's going on.
If somebody, maybe there's no way they can be foster parents, and obviously besides a financial gift, what are some ways do you guys accept volunteers? What are some other ways that people still who are being led to give in some way, how can they get involved?
There's so many different ways to volunteer, and any second now a van's going to pull up with a bunch of food for our foster families. We have some groups that donate food, and they've saved our families tens of thousands of dollars on groceries now at this point.
Yeah.
Just from freezer meals. Because, you welcome a 7-year-old into your home and your family dynamic changes. And to have a freezer meal on hand that you can pop in the oven, because all of a sudden you're picking kids up from 2 or 3 different schools, and there's appointments and catching up with doctor's visits or therapy visits, and all of a sudden it's 6 o'clock and you're like, well, I don't know what we're doing for dinner.
Yeah.
We have a family connections program too that is a really cool way to volunteer. So our family connections program helps out with supervised visits. So in the foster care world, when a child enters care, most every case that we have, biological parents will get usually a supervised visit for about 1 or 2 hours a week. And so we have a volunteer-led program where volunteers will be the ones who supervise those visits. When we get to do those supervised visits, parents are more likely to get their children back, because it goes back to that hope earlier that we talked about. When you don't see your children, you start to lose hope. But if you get those supervised visits, you just continue to get hope, and you do the work to get your child back. And the best place for a child is home. And I caveat that because, you know, home might be something different for each child. It might be with aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa. The best place is home for a child, to be back home, to be in a comfortable setting, as long as parents can be safe. And the more parents get those visits, the more likely, we see it all the time, where parents will get the resources and we can even walk alongside them to help them get their children back. And it's super cool. So
I love it, man.
Things like that.
Over 35 years of Coyote Hill, a safe place to be a child. That's a huge deal, man. It's such a special place that we have this in our community. And again, whether you have been thinking about maybe being foster parents, there's so many different ways that you can get involved to help change a child's story. Corporately, by giving, financially, your time, your talent, your treasure, as we always like to say.
Yeah.
Joe, thank you so much for what you do. I know you're running around that van's about ready to show up, and get yourself a breakfast sandwich too now. Okay, it's easy enough for you to cook in a microwave.
I had an early meeting, so I didn't eat breakfast.
Yeah, right. There you go. Well, thank you so much. And again, we're going to have all kinds of different links and things up for you on our socials throughout the month here, with it being National Foster Care Month.
Awesome. Well, Cosmo Cat, thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome.
Absolutely.